This is what we were talking about off camera. We got to start talking about other sports too. I love
Pickleball?
tennis. Love pickleball. Not yet.
Come on, Mike.
One day.
You gotta be kidding.
Let us know in the comments if you would want us to. We were here going crazy for Sinner. He's reignited the sport. Maybe at the end of the podcast.
Hey, for the records, those three guys don't even understand the real game of tennis. But
oh wait,
we gotta learn.
For the record, let's see what everybody thinks about this.
I know what's gonna happen.
We pose a question because when we're here, we're BSing, we're talking, and we asked Antonio, who's been playing tennis for a long time. It's his best sport. You're better at tennis than you are at soccer. Would you agree?
I don't let
everyone behind the camera saying yes.
Oh, okay.
So we asked Antonio if he had 1 hour to play Sinner, where he is the only person serving, could you win a game? He said yes. We don't think he would even be able to get a point.
I don't think you'd see the ball, Anto.
You're serving 1 hour. You could get a point against Sinner.
Absolutely.
How fast do you serve?
Maybe we shouldn't talk about other
How
sports.
fast do you serve? That's a major part of all this.
It's not how fast, it's how you place it too.
Where do you
It's
place
both.
it?
It's both.
The guy is 6'10".
So what?
I started playing tennis in June, and you beat me, but I won 2 games.
I beat you with one leg and one hand tied on my back.
That's your problem.
With one
Somebody that I won't name on this podcast, nobody knows him, but he said that by playing, right? He was playing with him.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just say the truth.
The 2-on-2,
Oh, okay.
right?
Our friend Dean.
Yeah.
Oh,
mentioned.
yeah. Me and Miguel beat him and Dean. Again, 3 of us only started playing in June.
And
must
mentioned
be
that
lying, right,
it's a
Anto?
waste that you've been playing tennis your whole life.
tennis lessons, you're not going to get any instruction.
What do you guys
from
think
me.
in the comment section below? How about we save the Sinner talk for later?
All right, yeah,
Let's
that's
talk
it,
about
that's
Italy and the Italian national team. Good days. We're on top of our group in Nations League. Nations League, more important than the World Cup, obviously now, because we're doing well at it. Right? Would you agree?
I don't know about that. I'll take the fifth.
Supposed to say yes.
I'll take the fifth. Okay?
Plead the fifth?
I'll play the fifth.
Fair enough. Well, we beat Israel just now. Barely. We conceded a lot of goals. Our only problem. But the real game was the one against France, where concede 14 seconds in through. Take a guess.
Yours truly.
Di Lorenzo.
Spalletti's truly, actually.
We did a little game. Everybody was late to watch the match because it was on a Monday, and we asked everybody, "What did you think? Who do you think made a mistake that caused the goal?" 14 seconds. Every single person on cue guessed Di Lorenzo.
Oh my!
But he still started. But we had a good reaction after that, and we played great against France and beat them 3-1. The Inter boys came up. Fratesi scored in both matches. No player, do you know this? No player has scored more goals for Italy under Spalletti than Fratesi. 6 goals.
I don't know
He's
if
our
that's
best
something
goal
to
scorer.
celebrate. We need our strikers to start scoring.
Too. That's why
Gano
Keane scored too,
Scamacca.
though, right? What do you
Keane
guys
scored.
think about the Keane Raspadori?
Nah.
No good.
It's strange, right?
Well, then they won't be the starters. I think that the match against France was the real test on who we're going to go with. And the one good thing that we got is that Spalletti said he's getting rid of the 4-3-3. There's no more question marks on formation. We're going 3 in the back, which should have been the very obvious thing for this team.
Yeah,
you look at
fits
the makeup of the team.
better.
Everybody is more natural with 3 men in the back, and it gives us a little bit more structure. Who wants to start off? What did you like about the win against France?
To be honest with you, I didn't even watch the game.
Here? You weren't here?
I was not here.
You weren't here?
I was
were
in
you?
Maine. I was in Maine.
All right,
Still?
Right.
Yeah, I was in Maine. I watched some of the highlights because I said, hey, I got to figure this out.
What do you think about the match?
I think you were here.
I was not here. I was
wasn't
in
here
Maine. I
You weren't
was
here.
in
So I'm
Maine.
the only
Where
one who
were
saw the
you?
game?
And then
I
from
saw-
Maine to New
Yo, you
York.
guys
the
should never
problem
watch
is-
Italy again. We beat France.
I
when you
want to
didn't
watch. I want to watch, but unfortunately, you have to have 1,001
It's true.
TV channels and streaming services here. So I don't have the hookup from Mike.
You didn't
So-
have.
What's my hookup?
No, I'm playing.
So you guys didn't see the game. Mike, did you watch the game?
Yeah, I saw.
All right, Mike. So me and you will talk about the game.
Yeah, sure. You guys can step out.
Why are we
You guys
even
can
here?
talk about tennis on the
Why
side.
are we here?
Talk about pickleball, yeah.
That's
You guys are here to
just
take up
weird.
space.
Mike, what did you like?
Well, honestly, everyone was very negative from the start, from the starting lineup, and then even more negative, conceding so quick. I think someone said, "Whoa!" I didn't even put my. Someone was looking at their phone.
Me. That was me.
you?
Yeah.
And then they picked their head. I was like, "Whoa!" I didn't even just see what happened. Ended up Di Lorenzo messing up. So even more negative energy. Blah blah blah. But Italy grew in the match, I thought, a lot. Even though a lot of people say they don't want specific players in or whatever the case is. Listen, we're up to that point where Spalletti has his favorites, right? And you just got to stick with him because he's not going to change. He's stubborn in some areas. But overall, I thought the playing style against France, maybe you could say France didn't look themselves. Yeah, you could say that. But you also got to say scoring 3 goals against a team like France.
In France
With a team that has no strikers is pretty good, honestly. And I think there's a lot to take from this. And there's a lot of talent from Italy, especially from the youngsters. I like Ricci a lot. Pleasantly surprised by that guy. I think he's going to go to a big team very soon. And yeah, overall, I think a lot of people would agree with me. Didn't think a positive outcome was going to be against France.
Definitely.
And they won with flying colors.
It was our first game back from the Euros, exactly. And there was so much made up of it. Obviously, there was a 70-year-old record that we haven't won in France. That was a big problem, and we were able to snap that. And I think everyone was a little bit sick of some of the stuff that Spalletti had been saying throughout the Euros, where we were built up on this type of football. And he said, enough of that. I had the worst summer of my life. I didn't smile once. But he said that he saw something different in the group. He saw a reaction. And Donnarumma said the same thing. He saw a spirit that I think we didn't see in the Euros, because a lot is said about the lack of talent that we have within the squad, the lack of talent from Italian players in general, this generation. We don't have the Baggios, the Del Pieros, the Tottis. But the spirit that we put on the pitch is something that anyone could have. And the thing that I loved about this match was right away, I saw that we were winning the ball quickly. When France would have the ball, immediately we did the counter press, win the ball back, and be very quick and vertical. And I think 2 of those players that were crucial in that were Tonali, who I didn't think we'd have missed him as much as we did in the Euros, but his physicality, his presence, even the technique, the way that he set up Di Marco on the first goal, and Davide Fratesi, who besides the way that he scores the goals, it's the way that he wins the ball back right away. He's there setting up his teammates. And I think part of that is the system, but part of that is choosing the right players who are very motivated to be on the pitch.
Well, you have to just even saying that those 2 guys, they haven't played the full year. Even though Fratesi gets sit on the bench most of the time, and when he plays for Inter, and Tonali, he was just coming off the
year,
the season punishment for his betting on the game. So that's the least that they should be doing, just to have the physicality, like you just said. And then, show the extra juice on the field to, to put France on a disadvantage when, especially pressing when you don't have the ball.
But Tonali, it was insane to see Tonali that match fit. It didn't look like he took a little sabbatical year off at all.
Spalletti said that he was surprised. He said, I didn't think he had 90 minutes in him. And he's like, he just kept going.
He looked great.
What caught my attention, it was the comment after the fact that Magnan, he was blistering all the rest of his teammates on the locker room.
I don't actually know if the quote was true about the 2 players, because I looked into it.
Well, that's what I mean. The Gazzetta, unless you don't believe the Gazzetta,
but they didn't actually put the quote. I looked into it. They didn't put the quote. They said L'Equipe says that Magnan said it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they said, it was overheard.
That. So, but the actual quote,
like there's no video of it.
Wasn't verified.
Well, listen, they don't make up things like that. I mean, unless something.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, it
could be telephone.
Yeah.
The quote was about saying that Italy only 2 players could
play for
break
it. Only.
The ironic thing is, if he did say that, Donnarumma would be one of them over Magnan.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree?
Yeah. And then
that would be the one that would start. Right? I would.
Sounds
I
good
would
to me.
Over Magnan.
By far. Magnan lately has been a little off.
Donnarumma pulls up big for Italy. I always like Donnarumma when he plays for in the Euros. He was one of the only ones that I think we could save.
If we didn't have Donnarumma, it would have been really bad.
So what'd you make of it, Pete? Even though you didn't see the game, what do you make of the comments, the feelings, the attitude around the Italian national team?
I mean, it's inevitable. After the Euro performance that we had, we need a reaction. I mean, that's the very least. When it comes to the formation, I think Spalletti was so stubborn in the Euros, and he finally came to realize to say, hey, most of the teams that are successful in the Italian league are playing with a 3-5-2. A majority of the players are coming from Inter. They play in a 3-5-2. But even a Buongiorno, right? He's going to be playing in Conte's system. Torino, for the most part, last year, where Juric was playing a 3 back. So, and the players that we mentioned, Di Marco is not going to look good in a back 4. We saw that in the Euros. So you need to give the formation that's going to be best suited for the players that we have. And I think he's finally coming to a realization. So that's very important.
Why did it take that
long? Now, I think it was more so just him kind of not knowing what to do. He was lost. He was really lost, I think, during the Euros, because it was just like the games came too quickly for him to make adjustments, and he had no time to really adjust, and he was just focused, and he still did with Di Lorenzo. I mean, I didn't see the game. Maybe he performed better, but to give up a goal like that in the first 14 seconds, you don't give your team a chance to win a lot of
against
times.
France.
So
Also, it's not a one-off problem.
Yeah.
Like it's consistent. It's not like, all right, you made a mistake, but he's been such a solid player for us throughout the Euros.
Yeah.
He got torn up and everyone made excuse after excuse after excuse for him. Oh, he's going up against Nico Williams. So nobody could stop Nico Williams, but consistently he made mistakes.
Yeah. So these are all things that I think if he addresses, especially with the formation and the right players, Tonali coming into the mix, we have some hope. But there's a big question mark, and that's still the number 9. It's an issue that I feel might linger for a long time because there's nobody coming up and taking the.
Retegui set up Fratesi.
But he's not the guy that's going to score.
Who is that
when
for
you
you?
need him most.
I don't know
Who
about
is that for you?
No, we don't have. We don't have a number 9.
The best case. Who do you
We
play?
don't have a number 9.
Okay, so who do you play?
Kamaka is injured, Mike. What do you want to?
No, I'm saying-
I think
Yeah,
Retegui's the best striker that
I
we
will
have.
bring
Say-
Lorenzo
say everyone-
Luca into the mix too, even though if
too
it's not a
young.
straight.
It's
What
too
are you
early.
talking
It's too
about
early,
it?
yeah.
I would bring him just starting to
I like Retegui. He presses. He plays the ball
he has good
quickly. Plays
positioning,
smart.
too.
Is he the most technical in the world? No. He started off the Serie A great. 3 goals in 3 games under Atalanta. He could have a really big season. Be in a system that provides him a lot of goals. He scored with Genoa where they don't create a lot of chances. So
I gotta say something about this thing here. The Euro was an important competition, and I think we are trying a little bit to go on overdrive with this win that we had against France. Yes, it's great, but now you have to show consistently what you're capable to do.
You're right.
Because that could be just a fluke. I mean, hey, we won against France. Maybe they had a bad day, or we had a great day. So now with Israel, we almost struggled. It was not a big win.
It wasn't a
It
great.
was a win. It was boring
narrow.
watching them. Now I wanted to see Italy play consistently the type of soccer that you guys were discussing about it. The 3-5-2 formation, the way this is going to fit into this, that is going to fit into that. I wanted to see day in and day out that you actually playing soccer at a very high level.
I think we always will struggle against teams that sit in a low block because you need those creative spark players. Obviously, Federico Chiesa is one of few that we have in Italy. He wasn't called up because he just made the move to Liverpool. Against a bigger team, though, the one thing that I'll say that I liked is I felt like we were a little bit more humble in our approach against France, where we would sit back a few yards. We weren't trying to just play the high line, and I know Spalletti always did it with Napoli, and I think that he thought he could recreate what he did at Napoli with the club football in Italy with the Italian national team, but there's not that much time to play it, where you see when Mbappe got the ball, we would sit back a little bit. We would put numbers. That's the way that it's best for Italy to play, and then try to hit out vertical, being really good on the counterattack. So I think those things are the positives. And yes, we don't have a top striker, but the strength comes in that midfield. Our 5 in the midfield is very good. You watch Di Marco at times, the guy's making runs like a number 9, like he does at Inter. So he's that threat going forward. So they're the ones that are going to have to make up for the lost cause up top.
And the biggest thing we haven't talked about was Italy got these 2 wins without, I think, personally, Italy's best player, Chiesa, who they let him rest a little bit, being with his new team, Liverpool. He's pretty much the one that
Problem is,
usually.
where does he play?
Listen.
I think whatever the case is, you find a place for Chiesa. He's the kind of player you build the team around rather than the other way around.
I don't
Just 'cause
know. The
for
thing
me,
is-
that's
Marco, let me just
That's
say,
what I think.
Mike has got a great point. Not only that,
That means that's not a good-
Spalletti is making a big mistake by not calling Chiesa and by allowing Barella to be a jerk.
Why is he a
Because
jerk?
Barella,
Why is he a jerk?
Barella
Yeah, we
is
should
choosing-
not have let this guy have a
Barella
Negroni.
is
Barella
He had
is
2
choosing
sips of
to
a
have no
Negroni.
surgery, which
forget
is
what I said about Chiesa.
for Inter, yeah, he can play. As soon as you get a call from I have to have surgery. You don't do that.
not mad at that.
The national team.
He's not missing a World Cup.
There you go. So why are we talking about
But look,
this
we
big
did
thing?
well. We have depth in the midfield.
Listen to me,
I was okay with that.
Barella, if he wants to wear the Italian national jersey, he has to just spit blood. He has to just show that he's angry for that shirt. So for him to choose to have surgery,
Hungry or angry?
What?
I think
Hungry or angry?
Angry, whatever.
Which one?
Whatever. You know
No,
what
but
I
it's
mean.
two. No,
Two different things.
Which one is
angry.
it?
I think hungry.
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 He wants
Fame.
Fame. C'ha fame dalla nazionale.
Oh,
So
fame.
Barella to me, he's this big gun in Inter here and there. He does the impossible
Don't
thing.
be jealous.
He shows up in the Italian national team.
Don't be
and
jealous.
He sucks.
You're jealous.
He sucks.
What's a better question is, how does
Okay.
Barella and Fratesi play together?
He sucks.
Because Fratesi, for me, is immovable from the national
Because
team.
Mkhitaryan.
I'm keeping him there.
He's not Italian.
But even when Mkhitaryan, it's usually Fratesi for Barella. Am I wrong in that?
That's true.
I don't see them play together at
Ah.
Inter very often.
You know, I enjoy
It's
Italy
fun.
winning because Barella was not there. I said, oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, answer my question.
How
How many Milan players were on
How
this
about the
team?
Yes.
Marco goal?
Doesn't matter.
How many Milan players are
I
on
didn't
this
watch
team?
the game, Mike, so I really don't say. The only thing
Anto.
that I know that Barella refused to play because he had to have a surgery.
Anto.
Tonali and Donnarumma.
How many Milan players is it?
Donnarumma was there.
No, he's not a Milan
All
player.
right.
All right, yeah.
How many Juventus players were there?
I don't even know, but they're not as many.
Listen.
It-
You're not
it
making
just
much
got
of a
the,
difference.
hearing.
How many little player were in the Euro? All of them. And they suck, all of them.
But we didn't.
That's it.
But we didn't play.
Spalletti didn't play.
But we didn't-
Spalletti didn't play him the right
We
way.
didn't, we
They
didn't play to our
sucked.
we didn't play to our strengths. Also,
Okay.
in the back line, I want to see Buongiorno start. I like Buongiorno. I want to see Buongiorno, Bastoni, Calafiori. Back three.
3 left-footed players, but
They're gonna be
Buongiorno's
running into each
right-footed.
other.
he's right-footed. He's playing on the left.
No, isn't Buongiorno?
Listen,
right-footed?
you play a three-man defense. Forget about left, right, and all the stuff. You just know how to play.
Makes a difference.
Make it. There you go. There you go.
It makes a difference.
Maybe on Inter.
That's why
only.
everyone looks for left-footed center back, and we have 3, I think. Buongiorno, I think, plays to the left,
Interesting.
but
Mike, what do you
I
think?
might be
Mike?
wrong.
You want me to find it?
I'm doing it.
Yeah. So
Oh, he is a left. You're right.
So it's
Who am I
3
thinking
left
about? Oh,
footed?
I was thinking about Scalvini. I think
Scalvini's
Scalvini's right.
he played, right?
He's injured.
Scalvini's injured.
ACL.
Who am I
Paisa.
thinking of?
He's coming in December, Mike. Don't worry.
Gatti came in.
Gotti's right-footed.
Gatti. Yeah, I don't want Gatti.
I like Gatti.
I take Di Lorenzo over Gatti.
I like Gatti.
I like Khan.
Actually, you know what I like to see? I like
I
to
do.
see.
I do.
like to
I
see
swear I do.
Gabbia. I like to see Gabbia.
Yeah,
coming into the-
Gabbia.
Yeah, that's right. I like
He
to
just
see
wants a
Gabbia
Milan
coming into
player.
Italian national
Gabbia.
Trying to
team.
find one
Let him
Milan
play for
player.
Milan
Yeah.
first.
Yo,
okay?
Yeah.
wait, no. You know what we have to have a serious conversation about? Pellegrini. Lorenzo Pellegrini. No good. What is he doing
He had
to
that one good
start?
season at Roma.
But I'm sorry. What is he doing to start at the Italian national team?
I don't think he's good enough.
The sub off at halftime. I don't like Raspadori, not for his own I like Raspadori, not as a starter for the Italian national team, not where he's playing, but he did much better than Pellegrini did. Pellegrini, he's such a basic player. Everything is lateral, backwards. He's not a 10. He's not the guy that's looking for the ball. He's shown it in the past. I think he's better in a midfield
To me,
3.
it's not 100%. To me, it's not 100%.
No, I don't think he's
got some
ever since that season at Roma. He couldn't perform again.
He did well when De Rossi came in right away.
Then
He,
that's
he
it.
looked
Settle
like
down.
reborn. All of Roma hasn't done well, but he's not stepped up for Roma as well as a leader of the team. But wait,
captain.
we didn't even answer. Where does Chiesa play? Chiesa, the only way that Chiesa plays is as a second striker
the front
in
two.
the 3-5-2. Because there's no way we could go backwards on our formation. He's going to do 3-5-2, 3-4-2-1, whatever. But-
a 3-4-3.
Who's the right winger now?
Chiesa.
We don't have a okay, left winger, right winger and left winger. Who are 2 wingers? You don't have it. You don't have the guy.
Chiesa can play left or right.
Or
But who's
Solini.
goes another way? No, not Orsolini.
Orsolini is a good player. Orsolini is a very good winger.
Not good
But now we're changing a lot. You lose either on the right side Cambiaso or you lose Bellanova.
Whoa, Zaccagni. I put Zaccagni.
For me, he's fine off the bench, but not to start.
No, Zaccagni is a great player. Zaccagni is a great player. Zaccagni is an excellent player. not just a great-
Wingers for
excellent.
Italy is tough.
Yeah, we don't have it.
3-4-3.
They don't have a lot of.
We don't
Zaccagni
have.
left and Chiesa on the right.
I would do the 3-5-2 and you put Chiesa up top with Retegui to start for now. Either way, it's about
do you
the
mean for
system. It's
now?
about our midfield. That's going to be the thing that saves us. That's it.
But there's striker goals, you know. Oh, there's problems in the goal department too, right?
It comes from the midfield. It comes from Di Marco. It comes from Fratesi. Is it ideal? No, but
It's not ideal because when you need those tight
Yeah.
wins and you need
Yeah.
that one goal from that striker,
Yeah.
that's where it kind of bites you.
we don't have that. But there's at least signs of improvement, and
definitely.
I think that after the Euros, everybody was very emotional about Luciano Spalletti, if he should be sacked. I think we all agreed that he shouldn't be sacked.
No, I did. I wanted to be
You
sacked.
wanted him to be
Yeah,
sacked?
absolutely.
You still?
Yeah,
I didn't want it to be
I don't-
sacked.
No, I don't think he's got it.
Yeah, maybe you guys wanted him to
Maybe
be
our
My
initial
biggest thing is
thoughts
that
were-
No.
who you subbing him
Yeah,
with. That was the
exactly.
thing. But
That's
To me, he's not a national
Still?
team. No.
I mean, listen, he made mistakes. It's very frustrating because you look at the team and you say it was very obvious that you needed to go with this sort of core and not reinvent the wheel completely. I get it in an ideal, perfect world. You do this. My only problem is it was the stubbornness from him at
Still using
times.
Di Lorenzo. I mean, what more do you need? Come on.
That's
I mean,
a golden
nothing
boy.
wrong with Di Lorenzo. I will have 10
Oh, there's
beers with him
plenty.
every day. But
He's better with Napoli than he is with.
yeah,
He's
I
better
don't
drinking
know.
beers than
I mean,
playing.
all of this hype with him before the Campionato started, that Juventus wants to sign him and all the stuff. I said, what the hell is wrong?
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
It is
wrong
true
with
though.
those people?
Like, to be fair, it's either he starts or Gatti starts right now in that right center back position.
And
Bring
I guess
Darmian
Di Lorenzo has more experience
Darmian,
there, right?
I agree with you. Darmian could have been good. I forgot.
Darmian, I forget.
Darmian, I
He's a
love.
natural.
Wait.
He's a
Darmian, I
natural.
love.
He makes no mistakes.
I love him.
He doesn't
That
make any
guy is another
mistakes.
Barella that
Makes some
plays well only
mistakes,
for
but-
Inter, and then he comes into the national team and
Because he plays him as a right back when he played with.
Stinks. Come on.
Or didn't he play him on the left side too?
gotta be a right center back.
Come on.
No, he does his job. But
Yeah, I
have
like
no
him too.
complaints
I
whenever
agree.
he plays,
I agree.
honestly.
Darmian, Bastoni, Calafiori. My ideal three in the back. That's what I would do.
No love for Acerbi anymore.
No, Bastoni has shown he could play anywhere in the back three. He's grown a lot. Calafiori was great against
Why not have the
France as
connection,
well.
that chemistry connection?
That position has been crucial with us because he's another one that could go up and he acts like a playmaker.
But why
Since
not
we don't
have
have the
the
other
connection
ones.
with Inter since they know each other well?
No, because then where are you going to play? Then you lose Calafiori.
Calafiori's not even playing.
Calafiori has to start. Calafiori's one of our best players. He was brilliant in the Euros. He was great against France. He's one of the best players. Doesn't lose the ball. Very calm in possession.
Well, I think that
builds up.
I think the back line, except Di Lorenzo, I think there's no problem. I think that's where they have a lot of
Acerbi
depth
were
Italy, at
passed.
the end of the
He
day.
didn't play a minute for Liverpool yet.
Not
He
yet.
just got there.
So what?
What do you mean? So what is?
I mean, he just got there.
He has
I mean,
to work-
He has a lot of competition there, Anto.
Would you-
Salah and Diaz are playing very
Chiesa can
good.
play on the left.
They started off really great.
Diaz plays on the
Liverpool.
left and Salah
No,
on
it
the
makes
right,
sense,
and they
though. It
both
makes
do
sense.
well. They scored an assist
Makes
their
sense.
last
So
game.
they're going to use him off
He
the
wasn't
bench,
even
you think?
called up.
now.
I think he was in Panchina, in Tribuna. I mean, he was in the stands. But it's still fresh.
It's still good to know that you have someone like him that can, regardless. But
All right. Maybe we will need him to rest for a little while.
and get some game time
That's right.
for next
What
for
is our
next
next game, by the way?
November.
October, no?
No,
November?
October? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're
Against
right.
who?
I'll check.
Against who?
It's good that we're at top of the table. We take
Oh,
Nations
might
League
be
serious.
might be November.
We take Nations League serious. Finally.
We almost won the
you're
last time.
Yeah, we finished.
October 10th versus Belgium.
Oh.
And October 14th against Israel.
Again.
We,
Yeah.
this
And then
time at
November
home.
again.
Against
And then
who?
November is Belgium and then France. France will finish it off in Italy.
Yeah, Belgium won. Belgium lost today 2-0, I think it was, right?
Yeah,
Against France.
won 2-0.
It ended 2-0. No Lukaku. Lukaku stayed back for Napoli.
So right now we're in first place.
First place.
6 points.
Wow.
Yeah, France has 3.
France 3, Belgium 3.
Belgium 3. Yeah.
Belgium
Six.
3, yeah. Israel 0.
Yeah.
6-3-3-0.
We take this competition seriously.
It's gonna book that ticket for potential.
We used
if
to not-
Italy don't have that. If they don't qualify via playoff groups,
Man.
if they win their group, they have a good chance of having in that back pocket just in case.
We know we need that.
I mean, it's always good to have.
We
Why
have to-
not?
how many
And it helps with
pockets do we have?
coefficients.
Oh, wow.
Why not take
We need
the
more
World Cup?
pockets.
Oh.
In case Italy doesn't progress directly to the groups, if they win
With
their
added teams.
Nations
in the
League
World
group,
Cup.
they have a playoff chance to go
Man.
through. So it's good to
Yeah.
have, and it's gonna help you regardless if you
It's
win.
good
the
for our
games.
ranking too.
Great for ranking.
We used to do this a long time ago where we never took any of this stuff
Sure.
serious. That's the one good thing.
It's very important. It's
And-
better than the friendlies. A lot of people were not happy with Nations League, blah blah blah. But it gives you an incentive to play well. First of all, for rankings, and you can get a favorable pot drawing with a playoff spot.
I think it's because
So-
then the friendlies too, they lose a lot. Like the friendly, like it's just a waste of time for these
what
people
I'm
to
saying.
travel.
Yeah, exactly.
But they still are friendlies.
But with an incentive.
There's no incentive.
And a tournament-
I'm saying there's other
Well-
like USA Canada was just a friendly match.
Oh
Wasn't
yeah,
anything.
there's still friendlies.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't take it away, but there's significantly less friendlies than they were prior to the.
Just get rid of them. Just get rid. For me, get rid of
I
them.
mean,
Ah, you
there's
still
still teams
need-
that
Why?
need friendlies.
Yeah, too much.
It's too many games this season.
I mean, the federation at the end of the day picks out the friendlies, so it's not like it's a FIFA thing.
It's a way to make money, but also to see players.
Exactly, especially for young
Mike
players.
wants this friendly to still going on because maybe they give it
Because
to
Greece,
Well,
Greece doesn't play. Yeah.
incentive,
Like
like I
see that,
said.
Mike.
You guys, they're in the same group as England. They're in the
Yeah.
Serie B of Nations
We're in
League.
Yeah.
League
Serie
two.
B.
England got relegated last year.
Yeah, we're playing England next one.
Oh
next,
my God, Mike.
next.
You got to do the job.
Hopefully.
Mike, you guys
Don't hold
got
your
it.
breath. Don't hold your breath.
You guys got it, Mike. You won
hold
the
your
the UEFA. You're a UEFA
Yeah.
champion.
And we have more than
I
England.
mean, Olympiacos. I'm understanding.
Oh, I thought you meant
Federation.
Euro 2004.
Hmm.
Yeah.
England, the first Euro final they made was against us. They'd never been to a Euro final before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he lost too.
Thanks for the.
Thanks for the update.
Thanks for the
Pete.
update.
Yeah.
How do you know?
2
In
in a
case you
row.
forgot.
Anything else? from the
Listen,
Italian national team?
I gotta say, to pick up on what you were saying at the beginning of the podcast, I had, not you guys, I'm not sure about you guys, a spectacular week. I mean, a spectacular 10 days. Ferrari win the Gran Premio of
Monza
Italy,
after a long time.
Man,
After a long
Leclerc-
time. How long?
Oh, long time.
What's the stat?
Leclerc winning. Oh my goodness! And with the
Since Schumacher,
way,
no?
the way we won, it's everybody had 2 pit stops. We took a gamble. It said it's either all the way in or we take the third position. So we had 1 pit stop.
Wow.
Leclerc was unbelievable.
How did he have more gas than everybody else?
It's not the gas. It's the wearing and tearing of the tires.
Anto, is there any
So,
Italian
when you
pilots?
think- What?
Are there any Italian pilots in F1?
Not-
or
not in
yet.
Ferrari.
No?
There is one probably
There's-
coming in soon.
I thought there is one.
Yeah, there is one
Who's
coming
the
in
other
soon.
guy?
It's going to be
What's
playing.
his name?
It's
With
going to be a
Lewis
Mercedes.
Hamilton?
It's going to be
What's
Mercedes soon. Anyway, anyway, that was spectacular.
And did you see Del Piero? He waved the checkered flag.
Yeah, that's right. That was another thing I was about to say. And I said, hey, you're saying that we should be introducing other sports into the podcast. I said, we're talking about Italy
Pickleball.
here. Ferrari.
Formula One's kind of
Italy.
hard to follow.
Oh, what do you mean it's hard to follow?
I don't know why it's difficult. I got into it when they had the Netflix series.
And there's
I really
no
liked
stop
it.
signs there.
But then I don't know. You watch it on TV and it doesn't really
Listen,
do it.
I
for me.
wake up at night and I
hard.
blast the volume. My wife, she runs away from
You
the
just
bed.
like to hear
Not
that.
just because of that.
That's right. Yeah. Oh man. If you don't put the volume up when you're watching Formula One, you might as well.
There's too many
Go to
things on
sleep.
the screen. It looks
Oh,
like
yeah,
you're,
yeah.
your actual pilot driving up with
Listen.
all these meters and
Yeah, but
things.
Mike,
and-
It's very hard to
the
see.
strategies
it's
in
hard.
Formula One, you have to know to do the undercut to the team that is in front of you, changing the tire before, pick up, just go from the hard compound to the soft to the medium. It's a lot
The
of stuff.
espresso break.
You know, it looks easy, but it's not as easy as you think.
And how
okay?
fast are they going, roughly?
Well, it all depend. I mean,
Roughly.
depend on
He doesn't know.
on the circuit.
Roughly. Give me an average.
230,
He just heard Enrico say it right
230
next to
miles
him.
an hour.
Miles.
He didn't
240.
know before that.
Enrico doesn't even know what day of the week is today.
Miles an hour, kilometers, bro.
What day of the week
He
is
said
today?
miles.
Enrico?
Oh, it's kilometers?
Miles.
No, my God.
Miles.
180. Yeah, he said
Ma-
230.
What's going on?
Next.
That's it.
So,
Should we talk about Sinner for a sec?
Oh, Sinner. Yes,
First
definitely.
Italian to win the U.S. Open singles
yes,
for male.
Yeah.
Crazy. He completely dominated the entire tournament. I went to the round of
Seemed
16
like it.
against Tommy Paul. The entire stadium going
Tommaso
for
Paul.
Tommy, obviously because he's American.
Yeah.
Then the one against Medvedev was supposed to be the one that was like whoever wins this is gonna go
That was
on
a
and
much
win
better
the final.
game,
It was better, but it's you know what's kind of crazy? I was thinking about this concept. Whenever we're watching the Italian national team as of late, for a long time, I never go into something with a lot of confidence, where I'm calm, where I'm relaxed. I'm always stressed out, no matter what. We watch Italy play, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle. We're going to suffer.
That's part
It
of the
felt-
thing.
It
That's
felt
part of the
great.
thing.
No, but you know what? I was like, oh, this must be how like Spain go into matches.
How
Like,
about-
we know we're extremely talented. You're very confident in your position. We're ranked number 1 in the world. I was like, okay, I know. Unless Sinner gets hurt, I'm going to feel pretty good about this. It was a nice change.
Listen, with Sinner,
That guy's a robot, bro. So he has no
robot.
emotion. He didn't even show any, like,
that's what you need.
No, he had a
Mike.
lot
You
of
need to be a
emotion
robot.
after.
Sinner is playing
he's very good.
in New York. This is just all United States. You have all the not just the the Arthur Ashe Stadium. He had all United States, all the biggest celebrity, all Hollywood, just about everybody going against Sinner.
Not
up there.
Seal.
And then he just
Because of the
you
thing,
know,
what happened?
quietly didn't say anything.
No, it's because
no
an American. They
emotion.
want an American to
Right,
win.
no, listen.
There's
to
been
be
a lot of
honest with you,
criticism.
They haven't won it
Almost
from
there.
2008.
They go for an American.
Andy
no matter
Roddick
what.
was the
in
last
all
winner of the
honesty,
U.S.
In
Open.
all honesty,
2006.
Marco,
2008.
2006.
Oh, 8.
Marco.
We haven't had an American in the U.S. Open since 2006.
Oh, Pennetta won.
2006.
Pennetta won the
Ben,
final.
let's go.
Come on.
Pennetta won the
Don't
final
back down,
on the
buddy.
ladies.
You're
on the
so
ladies.
Yeah, Mel.
Man,
Mel.
Berrettini was the last one. I believe that he played the semi, I believe. Or semis, I think. The semis.
Either way, he did it in dominating fashion.
Either the semis or the final.
The crowd had very little
But
to...
anyway, you are technically, you have a country, all the country against you, and then Sinner pulled up this very easy win. I mean, it was never a question. And I said to myself, oh God, we are looking for an extra 10 to 15 years of winning in tennis.
Him and Alcaraz, right?
Not just him. We have Musetti. We have Sonego, we have Berrettini, or we
is
have...
it?
2006, but 2000,
He's going to put away his phone without saying something.
No, 2009 Wimbledon. He was in the Wimbledon
Yeah, I said
final.
U.S.
Yeah. Who did he lost against?
US
I gotta check again.
Don't
That's
worry
fine,
about
that's
it.
fine.
But he's very graceful too when he wins, which is something I wanted him to be upset a little bit at the crowd, because when I went, it was me and only a couple of Italians, and we were fighting everybody that was cheering for the American. But whatever, it makes sense.
Alessandro was there.
Yeah, he went against Medvedev.
Oh.
I believe. I was there for a different one. But he thanked the crowd. He's like, "Oh, I thank you for being, closer in it than he had expected." And even the way that he handles himself, he's a very good athlete and representative for, I think, the young kids in Italy on like how you're supposed to be.
Marco, just turned 23.
Is it 23?
23, August 16.
Yeah, but like even the way that he said, his aunt is not doing well and he doesn't know when he's going to see her. Like, this is the first thing I think about. I wish everybody could have good health. He's a good he seems like just
He's
like a good
human being.
good kid.
You know what? In all honesty to you, I would have loved Fritz to win, but not against Sinner. I mean, I'm American too. I'm Italian, but I'm American. So
I didn't think Fritz was that good. I wasn't.
You're Italian?
Tommy Paul was better.
That's what I said. Tommy Paul
You
to
just
me
said
is the
Fritz.
best American. No, I'm saying Fritz.
Tiafoe.
If you have to win the U.S. Open, you cannot really you're not going to win against Sinner.
Yeah,
so if
it's
it was
too hard.
Fritz against somebody else, I said I will be cheering up for him. But in this particular case, I felt
I was more impressed with Tommy Paul than I was with Fritz.
Paul is a talent that it's not. Is
I
you
thought that-
haven't seen the best of Tommy Paul yet? Believe me.
Too many faults with
What
the
do you
guy
mean?
Fritz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but his service was
serving,
working.
right?
His service was working. Believe it
yeah.
or not, his service.
You know who
was
did that a
working.
lot too? Medvedev as well. You know what? It's very. I don't know a lot about tennis. I'm very new to this sport. I'm learning through you. But what I noticed,
That's not a good sign.
That's the issue right now. There's the problem.
You see what he's
There's
doing?
the problem.
what I noticed was Tommy Paul, Medvedev, and Fritz. They always their second serve. Most of the time, they do a soft one. Like it's
a kick serve.
a kick serve.
Kickback.
It's
Okay.
Kick serve.
It's what?
Kick serve.
High school kick.
What is a kick serve?
And it bounces off to you.
They risk less.
Is it right or wrong?
They play
got
it. They
it.
play
No,
it more. They
it's
play it
not a
more safe.
He's trying to
risk-less.
test you. He's
It's
trying
not
to
a
test you.
risk-less. It's the way you strike the balls that the ball has.
But why do they do that?
Easier.
Because
It's less of a risk to miss it.
No.
Italian tennis TV guys.
If the
Go.
ball comes to you at a much high at a height that is much higher than the regular, it's much difficult.
You gotta speak into the mic.
Difficult for you to just hit the
Speak
ball
to the mic.
backhand unless you step forward, or you have the back up all the way to the back side.
That's
and
what
just
Sinner
wait
was
for-
doing.
And that's what Sinner was doing. That's why you have a lot more time to just.
But my
ball
point is that the first serve that they always do is always something that's
Wow.
120 miles an hour. They
They
go
have an extra
hard.
chance.
So exactly.
Yeah.
The second serve, they take less risk and they keep it more
You
safe.
have to. You have to.
But
That's what he's been saying.
Double fault.
this is my point. But those guys, they went for it on their second
Yeah,
serve a
'cause
lot
you
more.
have to against
Because
Sinner.
if you give Sinner an easy one, he buries
Yeah,
you
you
most of
have
the
to.
time.
You have to
Besides
risk
a couple of times against Fritz where he missed easy plays.
But also, I noticed that Sinner kept hitting it sideways, and it messed him up a lot. So
He messed who up.
it messed Fritz
Fritz
up a
up.
lot. He was making him run.
Well,
back
listen,
and
the
forth, and he
angles,
couldn't handle
they
it.
both were trying to find the perfect angles, but
Yeah.
because they know that you put the ball in the middle of the court, forget it, you're dead.
But he was doing that more than he'd do it with
That's
Medvedev.
called a dead man zone, when you hit the ball straight at the guy with a nicer height, boom.
Yeah, because you're setting up for him, right?
That's it.
So
You
to
just
tie
set it
to
up.
tie it back into calcio, I did a little bit of research into this because you just mentioned all these Italian tennis guys, and haven't seen on social media they put Sinner amongst the list of very few. It was
Alcaraz, Sinner.
No. In the past, all the greats, Andy Murray, Agassi, Nadal, Djokovic.
Federer.
He was amongst like
Sampras.
the five.
Pete Sampras.
No.
Sampras.
No, he wasn't.
Sampras
He
was
He
Wasn't amongst the guys I'm talking about.
Really?
He was amongst the big five of in a single year how many Grand Slams he's gotten to. And I looked into like how did Italian tennis get so big all of a sudden? Like that you're mentioning all these talents, and they say that. Years ago, the federation invested a lot into the youth. They started making a lot more tennis courts that were free for kids to come and play, or a lot cheaper than they were in the past. They also invested just infrastructure in general. They helped because it could be very costly.
Oh, in Italy, I mean, when I grew up, there were just one or two tennis courts in my town, and we were coming back from fishing. This is really unbelievable. Coming back from fishing all night, 5 o'clock in the morning. You just put the fish through the market through wholesale, and then you go over the fence. And there was this
Trespassing?
Trespassing. Yeah, over the fence.
Are you from Bali?
Are
you from Bali by any chance?
Private tennis
What are
court.
the statute
We played
limitations
an
in
hour and a
Bali?
half.
Lock him
We played an
up.
hour and a half,
No,
2
no.
hours, take a shower, get out by 7:30. You had to get out. You had to
Still
get out.
smell like
We got
fish.
caught a couple times with a friend of mine.
And what happened?
Nah.
Did you steal the rackets too? Or?
What?
The
No,
cops-
we didn't steal the
The cops
rackets.
were playing with you over there.
We
Right?
didn't steal
They
rackets.
jumped
And they said they also started paying coaches a lot more money, more than what they were paying them in the past. So they invested out a youth structure, and now they're reaping the benefits of having these guys that are achieving something. So something for our Italian federation maybe to take a look at and learn from other sports, and in the way that you invest for a decade and you don't see the results right away, but now 22, 23 years old, you're seeing these kids who are coming up, and for the first time ever, we have a man who has won the US Open.
I saw
here.
a thing recently on Twitter. It was like the amount of tennis courts are throughout Europe, and the main density that they were like the middle of Europe, like Netherlands, France. I saw that as like the majority of it. I don't know if that has to do
Belgium,
with
France had a lot.
yeah, maybe because maybe they're more wealthier. I guess
Listen, it has nothing to do with wealth. It has to do with
No.
even
it's public. I'm saying public.
you know,
courts.
even the tradition. In Italy, we had Nicola Pietrangeli. He was one of the best back then. He won a bunch of major. Then we had Panatta, Barazzutti, Bertolucci. But then after that, we had a big gap where nothing really happened in between, except we had Pennetta, we had Rani, we had
random,
Vinci.
some random.
And now all of a sudden, a Sinner comes up, Sonego. We have so many. So
Even
many.
the ladies too,
We have-
right?
Oh,
Paolini,
yes.
right?
Paolini, 6 or 7
Even
great
in
players.
the U.S. right now are in a drought. You just said 2006.
I thought it was 2009.
Well, I checked. It was 2009. He was in the Wimbledon final,
Better
but
watch
he
this
lost.
guy. I know where he lives.
Anyway,
Don't worry.
Andre Agassi, Pizza. Those guys were the ones that
McEnroe,
used to
That's why they were building up.
were running
Yeah.
the show.
Americans.
Then all of a sudden the Europeans came in. Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. These guys dominated tennis the way that Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi dominated
Cassano,
soccer.
football. Yeah.
And Cassano too, that's
Do you
right.
think? Do you
that's
think?
right.
I saw people say that.
Cassano's a good tennis player, by the way.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
I gotta see some
I
videos.
heard he's a very good tennis player, and paddle. He plays
Better,
paddle.
are you going to play against him, you think?
Listen, man, I would
Better get
take
your
it.
knee ready.
Listen.
Rehab, baby.
For me, just to shake Cassano's hands, it would be
All right, we're
the
not talking
biggest
about Cassano
achievement.
now.
What are you talking about?
They say
Forget
that
about playing tennis.
they say that Alcaraz, Sinner could be like Messi and Ronaldo for this generation of tennis. That
It
they're
is.
going to be for the next 5 to 10
It
years.
is. I would
It's
put-
going to be a battle between them two.
I would put Medvedev too.
Really?
And Tommy
Isn't he
Paul.
older?
No,
Isn't Medvedev
no, it's
older?
maybe 2-3 years older. But I put Tommy
That
Paul.
looks-
Those four guys, and maybe Ben.
But are they at the same level of Alcaraz and Sinner? They're not at the same
Well,
level.
not the type of pace and the spin that they put on the ball, but the talent is there. If they work on it, they get a different coaching or different. If they work on the game, because believe me, it's this much the difference that you need to make a big difference for winning a major.
The difference
or,
was 3-0.
yeah, well,
Yeah, he smacked
listen,
him up.
Tommy Paul, if Sinner was not in top physical shape when he played the Tommy Paul, he could have lost that game. He could have lost the battle.
All right.
You know?
That's our segment on tennis. Guys, let us know if you want us to. We'll see how much we actually keep up with it. It's
Next
just
week,
it's a big
golf,
tournament.
guys. Don't forget.
Is there
And
any,
by the way, one day I'm going to videotape those guys playing a train. Even the way they hold the rackets, they look like they holding the fork to eat spaghetti.
That's a big fork.
all right, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon.
Ciao, guys.
Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao.